In this video, I will be covering the basics to a straddle forward roll and also go over some drills. Get excited because if you master this skill, you are one step closer to doing some really cool tricks. Before attempting this skill, make sure you can already do these 4 steps. So step number 1 is in our straddle, being able to reach past our toes. So if we have an imaginary line, trying to reach past our toes, touching the ground, we don't want to look like this. That'll make it hard to stand up. And the closer your belly is to the ground, the easier the straddle forward roll would be. Step number 2 is doing an inverted straddle. So you kind of have to roll back onto your shoulders and then get your high five pizza hands ready, straighten your legs, and then straddle. Toes closer to the ground, the better. And then number 3 is doing a straddle press. So I'm back in my straddle, my hands are in between my legs, and then I push through my hands to lift my bum off the ground. Now, if you can do this and actually stand all the way up, that's awesome. That'll make this straddle forward roll super easy because now you're adding momentum to that. And then the last step is just being able to do a tuck forward roll. If you can do this, awesome. It's just helping you understand the motion of a roll in general. So shoulders to the ground and then stand up. If you can already do these 4 steps, that's great because that'll make learning a straddle forward roll super easy. Okay, now on to the drills. So first drill we have here is to help us learn how to lean our shoulders forward and be comfortable with leaning and falling forward. So we did this in our tuck forward roll one, but now since we're doing straddle, we're gonna get up in a straddle, hands near the wall or mat or couch, whatever you have. And then you're gonna tuck your chin into your chest, oops, and lean in toward the wall and then push back. And as you get comfortable with that and it's easy, then slowly start moving away. The further away you move, the more you have to push at the end. So it gets a little trickier the further you move. Don't move too far because the next step is to actually put your mat down. You can also use a couch cushion if you don't have a mat like this. So we get in a straddle, hands near the mat, chin to our chest, and then we're gonna lean our shoulders into the mat just like we did against the wall. So chin in, lean, and then come up to a straddle. And then as you get more comfortable with that, you can start working your way down the mat. So say I'm now halfway down, I try it here, head in, roll, and just to a seated straddle. So once you get to the ground, then we'll move on to the next drill. So the next 2 drills are to practice for the stand-up part of the straddle forward roll. So what you're gonna do is sit on the edge of your mat, squeeze your quads, point your toes, and lift those feet up off the ground, no looseness here. And then we're gonna place our hands on the edge of the mat, lean forward and push into the mat until we're standing on our feet. Then you'll work your way down your mat like we did earlier. So say we're here, we're halfway. Our toes are still pressed up. I lean forward, push to stand up. And then finally, when we do it on the ground, that's gonna be the trickiest one because you really need to lean forward and push hard. I like to add a little bit of momentum into it, so I like to pick my toes up and then lean into it, and then see how I push through my fingertips at the end to then stand all the way up. So from there, now we're going to take it, we're gonna basically reverse what we just did. Whoops, I don't need the mat yet. Yes, I do. My bad. So now say I'm on to the first step going back up. So I'm right here, first step. I just did the press on the ground. Now we're gonna reverse it, but the difference is we're gonna place our hands on the floor this time instead of the mat. So you might come to a point where you're unable to actually push your bum off the ground. We'll see, but I'll show you mine. So hands on the floor this time, and I lean forward and I push up. Now that one's pretty easy, but say I got to the top, I'm in my straddle, my hands are now on the ground, and then I have to really lean and push. It takes you a few tries sometimes on that one. So yeah, try that. So we go down, hands on the mat, and then we come back up, hands on the floor. So next thing we're gonna do is start adding the momentum of the roll into it. So we're gonna lay back onto our shoulders in our inverted straddle that we did earlier. And then we'll roll from it and try to press up. So I'm in my inverted straddle. I get my, oops, I'm falling. Push, there we go. I have my pizza high five hands. Then I lean and push at the very end. Okay, so start with that. Then from there, we're going to add what we did at the very beginning to what we did in the middle to what we just barely did. So where we lean our shoulders into the mat, roll, and then push off the mat to stand up. So we're just putting everything together. So hands on the ground, head in, roll, hands on the mat to stand up, okay? Then we work our way down like we've done this whole time. So say we're halfway. Straddle, roll, press. Until we finally get it, if I can get that all the way, on the ground. So hands down, roll, press. Use those fingertips to stand up, okay? I hope you found this video valuable, and if you enjoy my coaching style, I have online private coaching sessions, and I'll leave a link to that down in the description, so make sure to check it out. Keep up all the hard work, and I'll catch you in the next video.